I am the man, the shaman. I am the legendary one that everyone seeks. I've been on these random chat channels for 20 some years, almost 23 years now, and you guys are all the same and you'll never change. Desperate, outsiders, lonely, and not having anyone to talk to, but making up excuses, pretending and taking on airs. Nothing but the best, baby.
I've always found myself wondering, of all the forms of entertainment at our disposal, why go online and talk to strangers? Why not play games with your friends or maybe watch a YouTube video? Especially as from a young age, we're so often told that that's one of those things you just shouldn't do. Who are these people and what are they like? Why do they do this? Are they all just a bunch of losers and rejects? I took to Google, hoping I'd find an answer that might satisfy my curiosity, but unfortunately found myself empty-handed. I didn't quite find the first-hand experiences that I was looking for, so I decided to take to the streets, so to speak, and I made my way over to Chat Roulette. As a child with unrestricted access to the internet, I've been to sites like Chat Roulette and Omegle before, and as best as I can remember, it was mostly just old men exposing themselves. In fact, the founder has dubbed this the penis problem. Honestly, from everything I remembered about this site and what I've heard from so many others, I didn't have super high expectations for this experiment. However, my initial impressions were actually quite positive. They now have a system that uses facial recognition and artificial intelligence to make sure you're not doing anything inappropriate. Otherwise, it kicks you off. In fact, I was doing this on my computer, and I was often flagged by this system with false positives because I would have my mic in front of my face. And that was enough for their automated system to no longer detect me in frame. Now, I did still encounter some bad actors who would have their face on screen, but it was very obvious they were doing something else, if you catch my drift. I ended up talking to and interviewing over 50 people over the course of a few days with one goal in mind: to better understand why people are utilizing this site and others like it. Prior to conducting this research, I had developed a hypothesis about what I felt the results would present to me. What I had written was, the vast majority of users, either due to circumstance or otherwise, come to this site as they have no one else to talk to or are using it purely for sexual gratification. At the beginning of this video, I played a clip from someone I chatted with who called himself the shaman. He said the people who come to these sites never change, and that it's full of nothing but losers and rejects with no one else to turn to. When he said that, it kind of resonated with me. I thought maybe there was some truth to it. He was one of the first few people I spoke with anyway, but as time went on, and as I spoke to more people, I feel like I've kind of had a change of heart. And not just about the site, but about the stigma that I or people like the shaman have attributed to it. Let's look at the data. Was it all just losers with no one else to talk to? I mean, a sample size of 50 may not be enormous, but I think it gives a pretty good representation of the overall community. Here's what I found out. The vast majority of people just told me they came because they were bored. So, of course, I'd try to inquire a little further and I'd ask them, is there anything specific that made you come to Chat Roulette? Instead of, say, watching a YouTube video or a movie. I want to share with you a few specific answers that during this interview process really stood out to me.
Ever since they shut down Omegle, yeah, I was curious about how chat roulette was, or if it was even a thing, you know. Then I came back and I was actually pretty surprised that people are talking in here.
I'd come on here and drink.
Yeah.
To be honest.
No,
it makes me feel better about
really?
drinking alone because I feel like I'm not alone.
But if you open a website like ChatRoulette, I think you're a creep. And then I think, well, am I really? Because you guys, you post half of your vacation or private life in some Instagram story. Why am I the creep now?
Ultimately, what I discovered was that, yeah, they watch movies and YouTube videos the same as everyone. But just like anyone else, they crave the social interaction that comes with talking to other people. The second most common answer I got was people trying to practice their language skills. All in all, what I found was that these aren't losers with nothing else to do. They're just normal people trying to pass the time. And a bunch of trolls and perverts have made a bad name for all of them. I don't think that stigma's fair anymore. There were plenty of times when someone on this site would say they treat it like an online bar. I really feel like that's the best way to put it. You might find someone who's worldly and interesting. Maybe someone going through a tough time. And yeah, maybe you'll see some dicks, figuratively or literally. But I can confidently say it's not just a bunch of losers and rejects. It's not somewhere I recommend for kids, but if you're willing to put yourself out there, check it out. Go talk to some people, because honestly, conducting this research, I was having a really good time listening to stories from people all across the globe. I think that's ultimately what Chat Roulette is all about. And it sucks to see that its name has been tainted and dragged through the mud by the acts of those who don't really represent the true community. I hope you see that. Thank you for watching. And if you like what you saw, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for more. Or like this video. Maybe even both. See ya.